The roller coaster of an NFL season is moving right along, and it promises to be a month full of tricks, treats, and of course, touchdowns. And DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, is the number one place to bet touchdowns.
Running it in from the 1 or an 80-yard bomb. We don't care how they score touchdowns. We want to bet on them. DraftKings heard us and is delivering. Ready to place your first bet? Try betting on something simple like a player to score a touchdown. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app and make your pick. It's hard not to look at player props for Jaden Daniels every week because he is balling out there. Here's a reason for new customers to do a touchdown dance of their own. Bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly.
Score big with DraftKings Sportsbook, the number one place to bet touchdowns. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code Jenkins. That's code Jenkins for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co.
And
welcome to Jenkins and Jones on the Volume Podcast Network. It is Tuesday, October 22nd. Some big birthdays on the pod today. Happy birthday to Radha, first of all.
Happy birthday, Radha.
Happy birthday, Radha.
Happy
the
birthday
engine that makes this family go. You
know
what I mean?
There it is. Wow.
I mean, it's a fact though, nigga. I ain't even. I'm saying it goofy, but I'm saying the realest of the real shit. You feel me?
Happy birthday to Maya, my daughter. I'm wearing my earrings today for
my little brother Aaron.
But yeah, happy birthday to John's brother Aaron.
Aaron.
We congregated a lot of birthing energy around this day on this podcast for some reason.
I tell you, bro, like there's something about like birthdays where like we're all connected through these birthdays and shit. Like my wife has such a birthday with my brother. You know what I mean? I told you people I dated prior had the same birthday as their dad.
Yeah.
One person I had the same birthday and shared the same name. Like, I don't know, bro. Like, I'm not super into that shit, but there might be something to it. I don't know.
Tyler, is your angel number alarm going off for John right now?
That shit crazy.
Don't wait. I'm gonna tell you this too. Like, y'all know this too. Like, when Radha found out she was pregnant, you know, like Radha has been seeing 11-11 her entire life. You know what I mean? And like she was like, and she like there's so many texts where she like 11-11. Like she would text me as 11-11. You feel me? And Somi baby, like we were trying to figure out, you know, how we was gonna go about doing things and shit. Her due date was 11-11, and we looked at her like, holy fucking shit, bro! I'm telling you, crazy. There's some to it, G.
My best friend JJ is big on the 11-11 shit. Him and his dad text each other at 11-11 every day on both ends of the clock. I think I told y'all after the pod last time though, so my wife's birthday is a day after mine. We were born like 14 hours apart in the city, you know, in Long Beach or whatever. But I just always say, like, I asked her out twice in high school and she said no. Imagine if my comeback had been like, oh, but you were born the day after me, like birthdays. Like
she would have ran like a Looney Tunes character, my nigga. You know what I mean? It'd been like Scooby-Doo around this motherfucker. You know what
I'm saying? Would have heard those bongo drums.
The effects and everything.
All right. Today is our NBA preview. We are joined by our producer, Josh Rodriguez, who has an NBA pod called The Dime. Josh, thanks for helping us break down the upcoming NBA season, which starts tonight.
Well, thank you for having me. I really appreciate that. And thanks for the shout out for the pod as well. A lot of people don't do that, and you're just a good man, Mike. Really, I really appreciate it.
Oh, you do. No, your pod is good too. I always love the social clips. It is always a little weird because since like you guys do the social clips, they look the same as ours. So I always feel like I'm having a fever dream, or I'm like, oh, Josh hosted the pod for me this week or some shit.
And he be talking that good shit too. You know what I mean?
I'm like, that's what I'm saying.
I'm like, damn, this nigga.
Yeah. That's why Jackson was like, I'm not going to be there.
Camera for us, G. Like, you know what I mean? We need that.
Jackson was like, he's not going to be here for Tuesday. I was like, I think Josh got us. We're good. All right.
We'll be all right.
Oh, yeah. This is the perfect episode.
Let's break down. Let's start. John and Tyler, y'all want to start in the West or the East?
Let's start in the West.
All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Tyler thinks the Thunder are coming out the West.
I did. Would you like
all
it
you
to
got?
expound? Look, bro. Okay. For one,
End of
Just a
podcast.
Molotov cocktail into the whole episode. It's just
I do.
look. I mean, for one, I think that Shea is going to assert himself as a top 3 player in the league this season. I think he's probably going to win MVP. He's a 30-point per game, first team all defense, first team all NBA guy, and his defense has been getting better and better year by year. I think he's going to be an all defense guy this year. A 30-point per game, first team all NBA, all defense guy on a team that I think is going to make a go at like 62, 63 wins because they're right in that sweet spot where they're still a young, hungry team who hasn't figured out the whole pacing of a championship season, right? So they're going to be, going hard every night, and the pickups of Caruso and Hartenstein, a great perimeter defender, and Caruso, a first team, second team, all defense guy there. Hartenstein, who's a great post defender, a guy who's going to do the dirty work and get rebounds and defend the rim. He's not going to take any touches away from Chet or Shea or Jaden. I think they had the best offseason of picking up those two guys. I think SGA is going to take a leap, and I think that OKC is coming out the West, bro.
I feel like SGA. I don't want to say Joker didn't deserve the MVP because you can't see somebody with numbers like that as good as he is and say doesn't deserve it. But I felt like SGA was MVP last year. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's going to fire his ass up. Can you imagine what those summer workouts were like? You feel me? Chet's going to take a leap too. This is his second year playing. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, I feel like they're going to be solid. Yeah. I don't know. Come out the West. I feel like, they got to get through those Timberwolves.
They are the favorites. I would add that. They are the betting favorites. So I was going at Tyler, but it's not like he's coming out of left field. They are the favorites to come out of the West, and they were obviously the 1 seed last year.
Yeah. I mean, but I feel like those we'll see what happens with the Timberwolves. We'll see if they can make that the new pickups mesh. But yeah, I mean, I mean, everything that Tyler said, I agree with.
I agree with everything he said about SGA. My question is this: is Chet Holmgren? To me, that's quite a jump for him to be the second best player on a team in the NBA Finals. Like, I have respect for Chet's game, but that's until you see those things happen, that's where to me I'm always like, I'm not going to believe it's happening until I see that it's happening. And, we said the same shit about the Nuggets several years in a row and were correct several years in a row until we were very much not correct. Mm-hmm. So I'm prepared to eat shit on that about the Thunder. But that's my question it's like a lot of guys are taking jumps. But to Tyler's point, the way that the current NBA is situated, the Caruso-Hartenstein signings are the signings that are swinging NBA titles at this point. So I think that's a good point as well.
I mean, what about Chet making a leap? Are you skeptical about? We saw how seamlessly he came in. I think that year that he had, where he was sidelined his real first year. I think that was so beneficial towards him because you saw when he stepped out there that OKC was not just twiddling their thumbs and sitting on their hands with this dude. You can tell that he was in practices, he was in film sessions. He came in and he played seamlessly his rookie year. He was second in total blocks behind Wemby. Like, bro, I'm high on Chet. I know you don't really fuck with him, but Chet's one of those guys who can be all defense, all NBA too, bro. There's only a handful of dudes in the league like that too, man.
He could. I think when you talk about like the model that you're describing to me for the case for them winning the championship, it's not the Nuggets built around Joker. It's probably more like the Bucks built around Giannis in terms of the importance you're expecting SGA to have. If you're expecting him to be a top 3 guy who takes them to an NBA finals, right? Until
you
to me, like,
win, do you, Tyler? You think they're going to win at all, or you think they're going to come out the West?
I'm probably still going with Boston winning it all again.
But ultimately it's the same question to me. I think the question for me on Chet is literally just seeing him. Like, I'm just not going to assume that someone is going to be ready to be the Chris Middleton to I'm not going to assume that until you see what that looks like. And so
I mean, you for sure got to take your lumps in regards to figuring out how to be a great playoff performer for sure.
Right.
But I think Chet's for sure going to take a regular season lead. Yeah, no question.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not. I wouldn't be. I would not be surprised at all if they're the 1 seed. I'm just talking about the gap between being the 1 seed, a team that is well constructed to win in the regular season, and knowing that you have playoff performers that 3 rounds deep into the playoffs, with everyone locked in on your shit, you still know what you're getting to. You still know where your points are coming from, and there's a consistency there. So that to me, I think people are assuming a big jump of Chet, I guess would be my only feeling.
It's not just Chet either. It's Jalen Williams too. So who I think a lot of people are assuming a big jump from. I like the Thunder. I think they're the best team right now constructed, but they're also the youngest team. So it's a
Yeah.
weird. It's weird what you're saying, Mike. It's like, do you trust these guys to actually go through a whole playoffs and actually win the Western Conference? Like, for instance, I have more trust in the Nuggets in the playoffs. For if they played right now, I think I would take the Nuggets just based off the fact that I know what I'm getting
Right.
from the Nuggets. But that's what the whole season's for. I'm excited to see what Hartenstein looks like. I'm excited to see what Caruso looks like. They shoot the three really well, even though against the Mavericks last year when they lost, they didn't shoot the three well. So that's something that they kind of have to fix as well. And then the trade deadline comes, so you never know what's going to happen there. But they're definitely the best and most talented team to start
And
right
with
now
depth.
in the Western
And
Conference.
yeah,
For sure.
and with legitimate depth too.
I think the depth helps.
Yeah.
I think the way SGA plays take a lot of pressure off the other players. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like how Joker plays, where I don't
think that's true in the playoffs, though. I mean, I think that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, I agree with you about the regular season, but I think that's the point when it's like when you're going up against the Nuggets and Mike Malone's going, well, this motherfucker's not going to average 45 a game against us. Like, that's the question mark that I've got. You know what I mean? Because I don't know. I don't disagree. What I love about about going into the season is I buy all these arguments. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can see we're old enough now. We've seen the arguments we're making be correct in all directions. So
yeah.
Y'all have the Nuggets too, I assume, or or you would say if it's or the Wolves. If it's not okay, let me ask you both this question. If it's not the Thunder in the finals out of the West, who is it?
You know what? I'm not as high on the Nuggets as everyone else is. I feel like the glaring hole that we saw in them last postseason was they missed bench players like Bruce Brown, right? Like that was a glaring weakness. And then they lost KCP this offseason. I was like, did y'all not learn anything from losing Bruce? You know what I mean? I don't think they're a better team swapping out KCP and Russ at this stage in both those guys' career. I don't know. I still think Joker is the best player in the world for sure. But I don't know, bro. I'm not high on the Nuggets as everyone else is. I think the Nuggets can get knocked off. I think I think this is the most beatable we've seen them since their championship window has been open.
Also, KCP defensively. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a big hole. You know, he was a really solid, dependable guard defender. We've talked about this for years. It's so difficult to find good guard defenders. And he could show up and give you 20 in a game. You know what I'm saying? When you needed it. Like, I just feel like you said, what they lost with Bruce Brown, they just repeated that. They got worse when they lost Bruce Brown and get worse again when they lose KCP. I don't see how they're going to beat this, perform better in the playoffs, you know what I'm saying, with a worse team, you know what I'm saying? So this doesn't make as much sense.
So for y'all, it would be the Wolves, the Mavs. Who do you think is, I mean, if it's like I said, if it's not the Thunder, who do you think it would be?
I don't know. There's so much parity in the league that I can't tell you who I think is going to knock off who until I see the bracket set. I feel like, you know what I mean? It's all about matchups, really. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if the Mavs go on another finals run. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not banking on it, but bro, like okay, it's the Mavs, the Nuggets, and OKC. Anyone besides those three coming out would be a surprise.
Okay, John, what do you think about the Wolves?
You Mavs and Nuggets. So you'd be surprised if the Timberwolves made it out?
Yeah. I think that losing Cat is going to hurt them.
For sure.
I think that's going to hurt
Ant's
them.
Going to take a big step. I feel like he learned a lot from that series with the Mavs. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's going to be Ant and SGA. I think that's going to be the MVP race this season.
Yeah. So
it's definitely the year of the big step, right? You know what I mean? It's like this. It's a lot of well-constructed teams banking on a big step for a young superstar caliber player. So like that to me is exciting when you talk about. You know, there was this weird feature on ESPN yesterday with Steph where they're talking about this incredible Olympic run these dudes have. And then you have these all-time greats who are still in the league. They're still kind of the faces of the league, but they're all on like 6 through 10 seeds. You know what I mean? Yeah. None of them are like, we're not going to see a finals matchup between, Steph Curry and stuff like, so it is, the door is open. Obviously the Celtics are standing it's standing right in the middle of the doorway, but yeah, I mean, that's, it's on Ant, bro. And then you see Ant's out here saying, "Oh, if I win a couple chips, I'm gonna go play football." Like, what the fuck?
He's just a silly Billy, dog, and he can't unsilly Billy himself. You feel me?
Yeah, he's not. There's no way. It's too.
You said he's not. What you said? What?
He's not
He's
playing
just
football.
talking
Basketball's too cushy.
shit, bro. You know what I mean? Like that's just what he does. But Josh, how do you feel about him? About the Timberwolves?
I like the Timberwolves. I think getting Julius Randle allows him to play faster and kind of gives you another option to give you can give the ball to Julius and have him create, whether it's good or bad. I mean, sometimes it can be really
like,
bad.
Out of control. Like he's just a OC all-star.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's one of those dudes where it's like, what the fuck? But no,
but he's also second.
Nigga, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He's also second team, though. He's also second team NBA. And the Timberwolves, the problem they ran into with the Mavs last year was they didn't have anybody outside of Ant they can give the ball to and create. And Julius can do that for better or for worse. You know, he has good moments, he has bad moments. But I think they play faster because he can handle the ball on the break. You get Dante DiVincenzo, a shooter who they desperately need. I think this can be really good for the Timberwolves, if I'm being honest. I like the deal for them. A lot of people don't, but I do like the deal for them a lot. I think people forget how good Julius Randle is sometimes. I'm a Knicks fan.
Cat is so good, but Cat is so good, but he got that lemon booty. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And in moments where we needed Cat, you know, or they needed Cat, you know what I'm saying? It was like, because we were all rooting for the Timberwolves. When we needed Cat, it just wasn't, he just wasn't there. You feel me? I don't see Dante and, you know what I'm saying, Randall not producing in the ways that in those big moments. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, Dante loves Dante. Yeah, 100%.
Bro, Dante's like, you know, that Robert Horry effect, where I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I give you a good 14 a game, 11 a game. You feel me? When it's playoff time, nigga, dropping my nuts, get out the fucking wave. You know what I'm saying? The cape, come on. You know, so I mean, I feel like they'll be solid in those moments, G. I feel like they'll be solid in those moments. And I feel like when it comes to the Nuggets, where they struggle is guard defense. You know what I'm saying? Like they, you know, and they lost and they got it worse with KCP. You feel me? So I feel like
that's another team. They just paid Aaron Gordon. They're betting on a big step. They're betting on Peyton Watson. They're betting on Aaron Gordon's defense. They're betting on guys replacing players. And you know, last year they bet on guys who did not replace the players that they lost, right? I mean, so that that's the what the fun of the season is finding out how that works out. And I am glad that we have the in-season tournament. You know, I enjoyed that last year. I'm glad we have it this year because of exactly what we're talking about. When you're an older basketball fan like we are, and you're talking about basketball with your other older friends, this is inevitably what happens, which is, are you asking me about the season or about the season? Because the playoffs and the regular season are so different from each other.
For sure.
That it, you know, like we talked about, it's like you sort of need some of those signposts to Christmas Day games, the mid-season tournament, to the in-season tournament, to give you some, you know, some spice, and not just going, like you said with Dante or Robert Horry, like, well, this dude is not even him. He's in a cocoon right now. Like,
right. You won't see the real him. You know what I'm saying? Until the end of the season, my G.
Right.
Until it matters. You feel me? So
I'm not hearing a lot of optimism about the Mavs. Am I right about that?
I think Clay is going to be serviceable. I don't think that's a move that really, you know, shook up the NBA when they signed him. But, you know, we saw in the finals how wide open looks, you know, if they just had some players knocking those shits down, it's probably a whole different series. But I mean, when you got Luka, who at times looks like the best player in the world, you got Kyrie, you know, like the most talented backcourt in the league, you know, sky's the limit. And you know, I like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if the Mavs come out, because if those boys get hot and if they get the right matchups, anything is possible with that squad.
And they figured out how to play. They're playing some really solid team defense towards the end of the year. You know what I'm saying? So they figured out that side of the ball as well. I'm just not as confident. You know what I'm saying? I felt like last year was somewhat of an anomaly. I felt like the Timberwolves tricked that off. Now, I mean, I know, you know, Kyrie was playing and fucking incredible and he cooked Ant and all that shit. But I feel like they learned a lot. I feel like they learned a lot. So yeah, man, I just don't see them beating any of those three teams that we mentioned prior. I mean, you said, the best backcourt, they could do it. And I just don't feel like Clay. We've seen Clay just be absolute. I mean, his last game with the Warriors. I mean, that's what you can get out of Clay too. You know what I mean? Like, he can just be abysmal in moments. I just don't. I don't.
Well, I mean, you know, again, we talk about the big bets the teams are making, right? On our DraftKings basketball preview, like Derrick Jones Jr., you're subbing that defense out for Klay Thompson. That's a bet. That's a big bet. You know, and
that's a prayer. That, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what that is.
So, yeah, I mean, so we'll see. I mean, I think it'll be interesting. Tyler makes the point is that they've got one of the few players where you go, well, I mean, shit,
What you gonna do?
Yeah.
But they got, I mean, even with Ant straight up said, I wish I never said that shit about Kyrie. I was tweaking. They got two players where like, well, you know, obviously like Luka is consistently that, you know, Kyrie has his moments. You feel me? Like he has periods. You know what I mean? But like Kyrie gets to the guy level, it's like, you know, let's just hope he doesn't get to that level. That's what you hope for. You know what I mean? Because when he gets there, you can't do anything. So I think they can win the series, but I just think it takes like it takes much more for them to win. You know what I mean? Than the other three teams. You know, they got to kind of get lucky in a bit.
Yeah, I would agree with, and interrupt me if you disagree with my sort of unofficial power rankings here. I would agree with you guys that the Suns aren't a contender, but I'm hopeful that they'll be a fun team to watch. Am I? Do you agree with that assessment?
Yeah, I mean, any team with Book and Bill and KD is going to be fun to watch, but nah, they ain't doing shit.
I don't know if they'll be
fools for about 2 weeks though.
I don't know if they'll be fun.
You don't think
so?
What
I mean, because I mean, fun equals winning, right? You know, like I mean, for them to be fun, like for me to like enjoy it. Go ahead.
I mean, some Twitter highlights here and there never hurt nobody.
Yeah, but that's not a fun team to watch. That's just a good highlight here and there. You know what I mean? Like, are you gonna stop? Like, okay, nigga, we got so much shit competing for our attention. You gonna put something down to watch these fucking Phoenix Suns?
Yes.
I will.
Oh, you really? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
It's KD's 35. Like anytime he's on my TV, I'm tapping in, man.
I love KD, but I'll be on my phone with him playing in the background like some jazz, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like,
wait until you hear a Ray's voice.
Oh yeah, it's like baseball, nigga. right. Look up, you feel me? Like, you know, I'm a big fan of KD too. I just feel like I like KD. I just don't know this Suns team is just not going to be something that I really want to, you know, stop what I'm doing to pay attention to.
Yeah. I think one of the teams I'm most curious to see how things go for them is the Grizzlies. They have, you know, obvious, like Ja is another example. Like, do you see they put Ja in the like biggest rising players list or something?
Ja's only like what, 26 though? Like it feels like he's been around forever, but he's young as hell. But
yeah. But he said he's
not a
like,
rising guy anymore. He's an established dude.
But it feels like we haven't seen him play in 100 years, bro. Like, when's the last time? I think when's the last time we were like you felt like Ja was Ja? You know what I mean? I know.
Yeah.
Like,
it's just what happened last year is so weird. Obviously, you know what I mean. It was kind of obviously that what his situation got the most attention, but it was just a weird year for them generally. Like that, didn't they have like half their win total that they had the previous 3 or 4 years? Like
it's talking with injuries.
They were so hurt
too.
Yeah.
Like
they were so injured last year. It was ridiculous. And then Ja came back for 2 weeks, hit a buzzer beater in New Orleans, and got injured again. So it just. Yeah, we haven't seen the Grizzlies at full strength in a long time. But Mike, you're right. I think they're a sleeper team in the West because when healthy, this is a top. I mean, they've proven to be a top team.
Yeah, and
do they still have Adams or the Adams League?
No, he's gone. Adams was in Houston. Speaking of which, like I was about to say, I'm really liking what I saw from Zach Edey this preseason. Like, you know, the questions were, this is a 7'5" guy with cement shoes. Like, is he gonna be able to play in today's league? And Memphis is looking like they know how to use that dude, bro. And I feel like, you know, they kind of covered the you know, they had the Steve Adams blueprint, right? Like, you know, a big guy who's kind of a clunker, but you know, still can make the shit work with him. So yeah, it looks like they know what to do with Zach Edey, dog. And that was a big question mark for him.
I think like a thing that's always funny to me in the NBA is when people are surprised that tall dudes could play. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, it's a big tough motherfucker, bro. Like, yeah, I guess he could play in the big tough guy league. Like, I know he's slow. But it's like, you know, at this point, this is not 1986. Like, everyone has so many things they can do to alter pace and bring that, you know, conversation into where your team wants it to be and stuff like that. They're like, I'm sure there's going to be some games where he looks like a big, slow motherfucker. But like to your guys' point, this is literally the Grizzlies. They're not trying to, you know, figure out how to make this shit work with the Suns. Like, this is a team that knows how to do this. So yeah, I'm excited, man. I love a big dopey looking fat guy in the league, bro. Like, let's get it, you know?
Yeah, man. I was hoping Kenny Lofton Jr., no relation to the baseball Kenny Lofton. I was hoping he would be their guy, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. We're staying in the West. Well, let's talk about the old dudes, the Warriors and the Lakers, man. I mean, y'all take whichever team you want first. Look, Tyler's fucking sick of this shit already.
It's just I don't know, man. I just bittersweet with the Lakers because, like I said, it feels like Bron is still playing championship level basketball, where if he has the right guys around him, he can still lead a team to a championship. But Lakers just don't have the right guys around them. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I think it's just simple as that.
I think one thing that's interesting to me, and we could debate we're not going to, but we could debate the ESPN, like top 100 players, all this other stuff. If you look at every team that has like a top 10 guy like Braun, a top 15 guy like AD, whatever, I think AD should be higher than he is on their list. But like, then you look and there's three or four.
Top 10, isn't he? I thought AD was top 10.
They got him 13 on ESPN.
Oh, wow.
He's top 10
Jeez.
and, for people who've been watching him, I think. But like,
yeah.
But what's crazy is you look at that list then and it's still like, let's be honest about it. LeBron brought Anthony Davis. That's LeBron's front office move, right? He brought AD. What is around him? Who is it that is Austin Reeves? Like, what has the actual employed members of the Lakers front office done to augment that? Because when you look at these other teams, Tyler, you're talking about it. The Thunder are trying to give SGA the best shot. What's going to give him the best shot? Alex Caruso, right? Like, let's get him some help with perimeter defense, etc. Like, what have the Lakers done? Is Austin Reeves? It's like, we're going to give you a nice storyline with your kid.
Pick Lonnie Walker up, man. Get him off. You know what I'm saying?
So,
you want a playoff game for us. Something we can figure out some shit.
So the answer to the question is the coach, obviously, is what they try to do this offseason. But again, when you look at these lists of all these other teams, anyone who's got a Bron caliber player, they put 3 or 4 other top 100 guys around him to give him his best chance. And I don't feel like the Lakers front office has done that. And I don't know that hiring a better chef to work with the same ingredients in JJ Redick, I don't know that that's the business plan that I'm excited about.
The answer, bro. Like we know what's gonna happen this year. It's gonna be the same thing that happened last year. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, it's not.
So here's the question: is is not gonna be JJ Redick is not gonna be wearing the dunce cap? Like, so, you know what I mean? Is this a year that we actually see Rob Lowe get some shit for some shit on him? Like who's gonna be responsible when the exact same shit happens? I guess that's my question.
That is a good question.
You think so?
I think.
Yeah, the first year head coach, inexperienced. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Tyler, you think Bron is letting blame fall on JJ?
I don't think Bron will flat out come out and point the finger at JJ because I think JJ's his guy. But yeah, I think JJ's for sure going to be the one who the hammer's coming down on when they stink it up. I mean, look, he's a brilliant fucking basketball mind. There's plenty of brilliant basketball minds who can't transition to coaching, right? Like it's coaching. It's way more complicated than just knowing basketball.
We talk about them not surrounding Bron, but how they had a good team. They had a great team. Not the first year, but the second and third year, right? They won a chip. The next year after that, they were playing really good until Bron got hurt. Folks was getting hurt. I think AD got hurt too as well. Then they panicked. Bron played a big part in bringing Westbrook over, right?
Yeah.
You got JJ.
Right.
Nigga. I mean, Bron has made the bet he's lying in. So, and you know how much I'm a Bron fan, right? I'm like, don't play, but the GM LeBron did this to himself. They should have made some different decisions. They gave him what he wanted, and it hasn't panned out the way he wanted. So, I mean, if I'm going to blame anybody for the situation they're in, I mean, he won a chip, so whatever. But I mean, he's the guy that is going to stamp the fucking decisions at the end of the day. You feel me? So like I feel like what's going on with Bron right now, like he got AD, big pickup, but after that, the decisions after that have not been the best. You know what I'm saying? Like, and those are the decisions he wanted. So I don't know, man. I'm not gonna blame LeBron averaging 27.
You're not gonna blame the player.
I'm not gonna blame the player, but I mean, like, dog, like, I don't feel sad for LeBron in the way I would have felt sad for him, you know what I'm saying, if he didn't have so much, a hand in what's going on right now. You feel me? Like, I'm gonna watch and because I'm the same way you're watching KD. Like I have a baby under 1 and another one that's gonna be 3. Like I don't have as much time. KD's gonna fall by the wayside. You feel me? The time I have, I'm gonna spend watching Bron because that's gonna be the time I can waste because that's what I'm gonna be doing watching them niggas play because it's gonna.
You
got to
get Shola to a game.
I guess. Yeah. We got Somi to one.
I know you do. But that's like
Ryder was pregnant, so he kind of
you got to get Shola and I got to get Vinny. So Shola could whatever else happens with LeBron. You know what I mean? Shola will always have that. My dad took me to see him when I was a baby.
Yeah. But we know what it's gonna look like. G. Not, but I'm not gonna watch it feeling sorry like what could have been. You know what I mean? Bron made the decisions that got him here.
I asked the question in the chat who gets blamed if everything goes wrong with the Lakers, and they're saying Jeanie Buss.
I'll be honest with you, as a Lakers fan, I think the worst thing that could have happened for Jeanie Buss is the way that Steve Ballmer has been as the owner of the Clippers. Now, I'm going to enjoy making fun of the Clippers opening $1 trillion stadium with a box of Cracker Jacks, like as a starting 5. You know what I mean? But like, as much as I enjoy that, Steve Ballmer is what you want as an NBA owner, and the Lakers, like. It is this funny thing because the Lakers are such a bigger franchise, but it does feel like a mom and pop shop versus like Amazon versus like a company with infinite wealth, intelligence, ruthlessness in the way that they're run. And the Lakers are like, my brother says we should let Bron do what he wants. You know what I mean? Like, it's just
yeah.
Also, people that have broke down the finances of the Lakers talk about they don't have money, they have assets.
They have the Lakers.
You know what I'm saying? They have the Lakers. They don't have the money to kind of make certain moves. You feel me? But like Ballmer's gonna do whatever needs to be done. But I've been seeing that a lot online too. People are like, yo, Ballmer deserves to run the fucking Lakers. I've been seeing like multiple people have said that type of shit. So that was interesting seeing Lakers fans like, yo, I'm a Lakers fan. But
I think the other thing, John, is like 90% of people in Southern California are fans of the Lakers and the Dodgers, right?
Yeah.
The Dodgers are owned by a Steve, but like the Dodgers are owned by infinite wealth that
saw what
relentlessly
what
makes
the
you know that relentlessly makes the correct decision and has the money to back up whatever decision that they're making.
Yeah.
The Lakers standing next to the Dodgers, which I feel like what's funny is it's a reversal of the dynamic that existed in Southern California forever. Where the Dodgers were owned by a dude who it's like, he's getting divorced again. Like, they're going to raise the parking.
Split it in half. It's over with. Them dogs going to be $17 now,
Right. But now you look at the Lakers and that's the team where you're like, like that's crazy. The Lakers are playing in the old arena in Southern California, bro. I mean, I like as someone who lived in Southern California for 40 years, I can't describe how crazy that is. That the Clippers
and it's not even Staples anymore. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's no reason to be in crypto. You know what I mean? Like,
it's just the statues. The statues is the only shit you have there. That's like, that's like these icons. But it's like
if it was Staples arena, like, okay, there's like the history there, but it's not even that anymore, bro.
All right, let's make fun of the Warriors. We talked enough shit on our favorite, my favorite team. Goddamn. How many Warriors games are you gonna watch this year? Is the allure of Steph Curry still exciting enough? Like, Scott Van Pelt was basically asking Steph, like, why are y'all doing this? And Steph is like, I still believe I can win an NBA championship. Like, that's what he said. Like,
good for Steph. Good for Steph, man. Look, that incredible Olympic performance, we'll never take that from you, buddy. No. No. That is going to be, I think that's going to be the last time Steph, showed out on a big stage is that Olympics performance. I think the Warriors are done.
The fuck out.
Yeah, I think the Warriors are done. It's over. And bro, dynasties can't last forever, y'all. The greatest basketball team I ever saw in my life. The shit had to end sooner or later.
Period.
Yeah. And Clay being gone is going to be weird as fuck.
Vibes going to be off. You know what I mean? But like, dude, I'm at the point in Steph's career where I can root for him. Like I was always you can't not be a fan of the motherfucker. He's a god. You know what I mean? Like, so I was rooting against him, but the same way I was rooting against Kobe. But you still like, I cried when Kobe retired. You feel me? Like I told y'all. So like, I'm at the point where I can actually like root for him. You know what I mean? And not feel like, he's stealing from my GOAT. You know what I mean? So I'm a watch, but it's not going to be winning basketball. You know what I mean? Like, it won't be winning basketball. It'll be great to see Steph drop a 50 ball or go for 40 here and there. He's going to need it. You know what I mean? It would be great to see him reach like places nobody in basketball has ever reached when it comes to shooting. Yeah. But yeah, man, like it'll be like moments where I'll enjoy, but the season's going to be fucking trash, bro.
Yeah. We wind up.
I think he'll be more fun to watch than Bron, though. as far as like, I mean, I think we talked about how Steph plays. Like he could play this way for years. Like he has the old man game, even though it's like there's some flash to it.
I'm just emotionally invested in a different way. He'll be a more fun basketball player to watch than Bron. What I'm saying. Like, I'm gonna well up tonight watching Bronny and Bron on the court together.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
There's no watching. I don't think I'll ever Bron came during a particular time and he's played for a particular amount of time and he's been so good for so long. And I've seen him grow up. We grew up with me. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, what, a year and a half older than him?
He had a PS2 with him when he was fucking
You know what I mean? Like, nigga,
yeah.
I remember in college, watching him when he was in high school, like my sophomore year, so the senior year. But anyway, yeah, G, like I won't enjoy any player as much as I've enjoyed watching Bron. You know what I mean? But when it comes to, like you said, actual basketball, Steph will be more fun to watch than Bron. You know what I mean? Bron is still great, but he's not anywhere close to the 2017 Bron we saw. Like definitely not the Heat Bron that was like staring down at the rim, jumping from anywhere, dunking on, you know what I mean? Like, so yeah, man. Like,
all right,
I'm gonna still enjoy it though.
We whine so much about the Lakers, we got to get through the rest of the West to make sure we have time for the East. One storyline from the rest of the East teams in the West.
We can talk about maybe 3 teams and hop out.
We care about the East.
The guy in the Knicks hat cares about the East, but the teams we didn't talk about yet in the West: the Spurs, Pelicans, Kings, Rockets. We did make fun of the Clippers, the Jazz, and the Blazers. Blazers, a great argument for just making your superstar be unhappy. Can you imagine spending $50 to go to a fucking Blazers game? Like, you know what I mean? Just sorry, Dame, you're just gonna be unhappy. With the Spurs. Tyler, how good do you think Wemby can get this year? He's been talking crazy this offseason. Have you seen some of his quotes?
Dog, when he said, growing up, there's so many players who I idolized, and I got to the league, and I see a lot of these dudes don't work hard. I'm like, listen, bro.
God.
Yeah, he said that.
He said that.
He went full Rick Ross idols become rivals. Like when Rick Ross saw Birdman's watch was fake. Like same shit.
Right.
This motherfucker is disappointed. But I love that about Wemby, dog. He gives a fuck. And that's so important. Like he is locked in. And you've got the most ridiculous physical frame we've ever seen in the history of basketball with that mind state. Oh, buddy. Young fixins, as we like to call them.
Young fixins. Yes.
It makes me laugh because the French accent is probably the one accent that doesn't sound tough. So just hearing like you quote him and then picture him like a French accent saying it.
They're not working as hard as I thought they were working.
But yeah, I mean
that kind of sounds villainous though. The French accent can sound villainous with saying the right thing.
Smoking a cigarette while he's saying
feel me?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that Wemby is of course going to take a lead. I don't think he's going to get MVP. I think he's going to probably finish like top 3 in MVP. I think that the Spurs go from I think they had 22 wins last season. I think they go to like 37, 38 this year, especially with the pickup of CP3. I think that Wemby is first team all defense, first team all NBA, and defensive player of the year. I think he starts his run where he probably wins fucking 6 out of 9 defensive players of the year awards. I think that run starts this season. I'm really high on the kid. Like I said, GOAT potential, dog. He has the potential to be the greatest we've ever seen. I promise you he does.
I think he'll be like you said, he'll play MVP level basketball. The team's not good enough for him to get close to really getting one. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it'd be fun to watch, you know what I mean? But the team, I don't really see, them doing much. You feel me? But yeah, I mean, I'll watch him because, you want to be able to say you've seen the growth. You know what I'm saying? And you want to have seen the growth. You want to have seen the player he was and how the team was, you know what I'm saying? And see him at his peak. You want to witness that. So, same way, kind of for the same reason I was watching Bron. Like I want to be a witness to what the fuck is about to happen. I feel the same things, similar things going to happen with Wemby.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else on any of these other teams in the West, or should we move to the East? You good? All right.
I think we're good.
The saddest development of the offseason for me, guys, is that I think I've become a huge Joe Mazzulla fan. I love every quote he's given since winning the championship. It really fucking sucks for me personally.
Bro, when the reporters asked him, how do you deal with the pressure of trying to, go back to back? And he said, pressure is nothing. He said, we either win or you don't. He said, in 40 years when I die, none of y'all are going to be at my funeral. I was like, God damn.
Bro, incredible perspective, honesty. He understands, like, in the moment, it's kind of difficult to see things from that perspective, but he sees right through all the bullshit to what really matters. I've been talking. I was like, I have a Celtics homie, Dennis, who I like go back and forth with on, one of the Instagram homies, and we be texting now and shit like that. You feel me? So like, he listens to the pod too. So what's up, my boy? You feel me? But anyway. He was talking about, like, I was clowning the nigga all last year until kind of close to the end of the season. I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm out of my periphery. I see a real nigga. You feel me? I don't know. But anyway, my point guard vision, I'm seeing some real nigga shit. You know what I'm saying? But this offseason really kind of cemented that. You know what I mean? Just yesterday, we were talking about how much we love the nigga.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, G.
Well, because the quote Tyler referenced was a follow-up question, because the first thing they said was, are you guys going back-to-back this year? And his response to the question was literally like, we're all going to be dead soon. Like, that was literally how he responded to the question. It's just like, y'all trying to put a storyline on me? I don't give a fuck.
Right.
Y'all write whatever the fuck you want to write.
That might come from that. He might have a little bit of that Klay Thompson. So it might come from there, how he sees the things, you know what I'm saying?
This is when I caught him in my periphery. I told the story on the pod last year about him saying he and his wife were in the new house they bought. They've been living in like a 2-bedroom apartment.
Tell me about that shit.
Right?
Yeah.
And they bought the new house after he got the head coaching job, and they're sitting up after moving in, and he's telling his wife, we can't let this house make us complacent. Like, we have to stay. And he said that she started crying. And so he said he had the self-awareness to be like, and I realized that the brain you need to be a great coach is very different than the brain you need to be a good husband and father. And that was when I started going to therapy, and I was like, fuck. And he knows the difference between those two things. That's dangerous.
But I also relate to, we can't get comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't get comfortable. Shit ain't sweet. But also, like, the self-awareness as well.
Can't
but
say
like,
it to your wife after she moved into her new house yet.
Period. After y'all been in a 2-bedroom and y'all had this type of bread, you know what I mean? She been dealing with your weird ass for long enough. You feel me? But as a weird nigga, you know what I mean? Hey, I see some shit. You know what I mean?
Celtics are winning again, aren't they?
I think so. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. No major losses on that roster. I think the synergy is going to be even better this season. I think it's theirs to lose, bro.
I wonder how Tatum responds, though. I think there's going to be something interesting with that. You know what I'm saying? I heard like he was working dummy hard in off season and shit like that, really getting locked in. But I want to see how he responds to, them winning but not get MVP. Like, people have been on his head a little bit. You feel me? I feel like things are how we.
Are you concerned about that? You feel like that might go in a negative way? I feel like that's why Missoula's adopted this whole stance this offseason, is specifically for Jayson Tatum.
For Tatum. And that's what we were saying when I was texting the homie. I was like, yo, Tatum needs to approach it like this. He doesn't need to approach it the way Jalen is, where he's like, fuck everybody, nigga. I'm proving everybody wrong.
That's not his.
I don't think he has the disposition for that. The way he's so chill. He's so chill and laid back. He's best when he's like comfortable. When he's like, I had a bad game, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? That's when he'll, that's when he can. Having a short memory is the best way for him to win. I think with Jalen, the way Jalen gets teed up is having a long ass memory. I remember your ass a year and a half ago. What the fuck you said? You know what I mean? So different people are moved by different things, and I think he needs to approach it like that. And we'll see how he approaches. I'm interested though. But he's a god tier player. He just needs to realize that. Now he needs to look in the fucking mirror and say, "I'm fucking Jayson Tatum. I'm me, nigga." You know what I mean? And if he gets that, I think he's Gucci.
Did y'all see that clip on Starting Five when the Timberwolves and the Celtics played and Ant shut Tatum down to win that game? He was like, best play in the world, bro. Like Mike Ant up this whole season, please. Like, we need that.
Yes.
Yeah,
we need that.
And if we're hoping for the Celtics to not repeat, we might need him to follow Jayson Tatum around 24 hours a day and like try and just completely take his psyche apart. Because that's the only the only weakness they have is the new CBA next year. Like, that's the Celtics' weakness. Yeah. It's like,
what's interesting about Tatum is, like, you know how, like, I know high school and NBA is totally different, right? You know what I mean? But like, watching him play, like, you usually you see like a certain mindset that's similar, that you approach the game in a similar mindset, right? Jayson Tatum in high school was like the boogeyman, nigga. It was just like, he's coming, bro. He was quiet as fuck, just as chill off the court. But if he felt like Jason, where like he ain't really trying, like he ain't really like pressing, it's just coming to him, nigga. Like, you feel me? Like, that's what kind of felt. And I don't know. I think he was. I feel like he lost that a little bit over the last couple of years. I feel, you know what I mean? But I don't know, man. Like, was it 2 years ago when I thought, like, when I look at Jayson Tatum play, I can see how he can be the best player in the world. Like, we all thought that at one point, like, he has it in him. But over the last like year and a half, last 2 years, we haven't seen that as much. Like, that guy.
I just don't think he needs it. I just don't think he needs to refine it right now. I think the Celtics built this team perfectly. They have the perfect coach. Like, I think he can just play within himself and they'll be fine. And if he does find that gear you're talking about, then we may as well wrap the fucking season up right now. You know what I mean?
We'll see.
So
we'll see.
I mean,
obviously being from St. Louis, I'm rooting for him. You know what I mean? Like, for sure. Like, I'm connected to him. I connected to his success in a particular way.
You know who is that player in California history? Is two dudes who had very different levels of success in the NBA. Tyson Chandler was one, and anyone who was, I mean, Tyson Chandler in high school was like, oh, I'm sick today, coach. You know what I mean? And the other one is Stanley Johnson, who is I believe a 4-time state champion with Modern Day, but he would bully the fuck out of people. Like future NBA guys. People were fucking terrified. Obviously didn't become a superstar in the NBA or anything, but it is just the mentality aspect of it is interesting because high school and the NBA couldn't be more different. But the brains aren't that different, bro.
The brains aren't,
and
they're
not that far apart either. You're talking about dude, 12 months, 16 months, 18 months, or whatever. Sometimes
that nigga went from he played with the high school. Was it Chaminade when it's the Duke in the NBA the next year? You know what I mean? I mean, dude,
but did one semester at Duke? Did one semester at Duke? You feel me?
Right? Yeah, he was there. Yeah, right. Season was over, and his he wasn't showing up for classes. You feel what I'm saying? But like, this is a nigga that dunked on Bron.
Right.
Like, this is a guy that he dunked on Bron as like he was like the second year in the league or some shit.
Yeah.
And now he goes to the rim and he's like doing dipsy doo to avoid shit. You dunked on Bron, right? You dunked on the Bron, nigga. Like, not, you know what I'm saying? Like
2018 Bron,
nigga,
the best postseason Bron.
Capital BRON, nigga. You know what I'm saying? The king. You feel me? Like, why? Like, where's the mindset switch? Where you know what I'm saying? Like, so that's where I'm at. If he gets to that point when I'm fucking Tatum, where he's going at niggas' chest, when you know what I'm saying, and not settling for shit, bro, I don't think that's like, I mean, we've seen that guy. That's how he got to where he's at now. You know what I mean? So like, fuck all the Q shit, my guy. You know what I mean? Yeah. You really got what you need to be who everybody knows you can be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
okay. Josh, give us 120 seconds on the best case scenario for the Knicks.
Best case scenario for the Knicks.
The season's starting. You're wearing your Knicks hat. What is the happiest you could be at the end of the season?
I mean, the happiest I could be is they win an NBA championship.
Is that in your heart? You believe that's like make the case for them winning the NBA championship?
The case would be the Cat deal works out perfectly, where offensively they space the floor. Cat has a phenomenal year shooting from three. He does well protecting the rim. Mikal Bridges comes over and he hits the corner three, which they got him to do. OG and Mikal are probably the best backcourt defensive duo that you could probably ask for, and they do that against the Celtics. They somehow figure out a way to stop Jalen Brown and Jayson Tatum. Jalen Brunson has close to an MVP type season. Deuce McBride steps up and he becomes sort of like a sixth-man fringe starter for the Knicks whenever they need.
There's a lot of steps at this point.
Lot of nesting. It sounds like a lot of niggas not being themselves. That's
watching, like you could see in my face. You could see in my face, I don't believe any of this shit.
You were like a train that gets unhooked from the engine. Like you had good momentum going up that hill.
By the time he got to Deuce McBride, the anxiety was on 10, nigga. Like he is. The puzzle pieces work out.
Tyler and John, what do you think about the Knicks this year? What do you think is going to happen to them?
I think they are one of the teams that can beat Boston. I think they are a team that can win the East.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's all gonna be about the Cat fit. I think Cat is gonna be a plus for them though. I really do. But yeah, it's I just think Boston is too tough. But at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if the Knicks beat them. Like they're perhaps the only team in the East I can see beating Boston.
You don't think that the
My
Philadelphia
thing with the Knicks and
76ers,
Wolves,
who are
absolutely.
missing both Joel Embiid and Paul George on opening night, are gonna get it
No,
done?
did y'all see what KG said about Embiid?
No.
Oh,
What do you
fucking
say,
hilarious.
Are
man?
you allowed to
He-
repeat it?
Yeah. That's why I
I'm
was
saying.
wondering if it was.
No,
Go ahead.
it was just real anti load management. He's like, it's 82 games, Lord. You sign up for 82, Lord. You know, it's like I'm
But he
waiting to hear
only
Embiid's response because Embiid's one of those dudes who doesn't have a and he says disrespectful shit without knowing it's disrespectful. Like
Yeah.
Embiid would be like, well, KG, he played 20 years ago. Things have changed. Like he'd say that, not knowing he's shitting on KG, right?
You're
Like,
doing the
like that's the
perfect
type of dude Embiid
impression.
is.
That's a perfect impression of the dude that Benny the Butcher was trying to get his money from on Burden of Proof.
Yeah, that motherfucker.
Benny, I'll get you your money. You don't gotta send all these people. I got white people in the store, Benny.
But yeah, I don't know, bro. I'm never gonna believe in the Sixers. I don't think. And
I
Embiid's a
think
phenomenal player, all time great dude. But no,
I don't see it at all for them
Yeah.
at all. I think with the Knicks, what I wonder about Cat's gonna need to be more reliable in bigger moments than he was with the Timberwolves. You know what I mean? And also, I feel like he's in a more like the Timberwolves kind of played it cool with him. You know what I mean? The MSG, them Knicks fans ain't gonna do that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they gonna let him have it when he's fucking up. The world's gonna know when you playing. He can't have that same start to this season that he had last season. I mean, he caught fire after that start, but you know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, I mean, I think it'll be a plus. I mean, he's a great fucking basketball player, hell of a basketball player. I just don't know how he'll deal with the different level of pressure at MSG, and also they need him in a particular way that they didn't need him with Ant. He would seem very comfortable being the backup that he was with the, but like we'll see. I think he can figure it out.
what
I just wonder.
Let's talk about the team that's I mentioned the Grizzlies are maybe the team I'm most interested in the West, just because there's teams where the storylines don't match what the actual experience is necessarily. That team in the East for me is the Bucks. I'm so fascinated to see what happens with the Bucks this year. You have another year you've got the year of reps now between Giannis and Dame. I feel like we kind of called Giannis's arc a little bit on this show though, because we talked about after we won the championship, like he might be too well adjusted, brother. Like, you know what I mean? Like that man seems like he's happy and he understands that he made it in life. Is he still like, I'm gonna rip my arms off to throw it across the court and block a shot if I can't get there? Like, I don't know that, because they need him to be like, they don't win without him being the best player in the world, right? Like they're still built for him to be at that level. And I don't know that that's what he's looking for. And I said, I'm a huge Giannis fan. That might be after Braun, my favorite player in the league, but I don't know. I'll be real curious to see how it goes for the Bucks this year.
I think Giannis is still hungry. I think he's still got that hunger. But bro, like I don't know. It's just like we talked about before. That championship window closes so quickly, bro. Like I think we're gonna look back on Giannis's career and we're gonna be like, that year they lost to Miami, bro. Nah, that was a ring that came off that resume, dog. But I don't know. I'm just, the Bucks got to show me. And I was so high on the Bucks when they first picked Dame. I thought they were going to win it all, bro.
Yep.
But it's just Dame had his struggles, but then towards the end of the season, it looks like he was figuring things out. But I mean, there's still Doc Rivers there too. Like, I don't know. I just, the Bucks are gonna have to show me something this season, bro. And that's saying a whole lot, because like I said, when they picked up Dame, I thought they were going to win a ring.
I felt
we
the
all
exact
kinda
same
thought,
way
right?
because I mean he's a guy coming in who had success in the playoffs, but they also had obviously Drew Holiday was a big part of it, but you have Giannis back, you have Chris Middleton back, you have a championship core, and then you add the super, like, I guess the issue obviously is just injuries and trying to manage the fact that their experience is also causing injuries, but yeah, I felt the same as you, Tyler. I think we were in agreement last year, but that's why I'm like, this is the year where either okay, but now it comes together, or you're like, nah, these motherfuckers are just too old.
I don't think it comes together, man. Giannis is not old, right?
No, not
like,
Giannis. Yeah.
I'm sorry,
Sorry.
but he's not old. But does he not feel like he's closer to Bron and closer than the SGA type shit? You feel me? Like it. I
Yeah.
mean, for whatever reason, it just feels like that ship is sailed.
Well,
At
I
least
don't.
at
I
the
don't feel like
moment.
he's playing till he's four. Like, yeah. I guess that's what I'm
The
alluding
way he
to.
plays
Like,
would be very difficult.
yeah.
It's very difficult. It just feels like that ship has sailed. That's how it feels. They could come out, he's cooking because he's gonna cook, you know what I mean? But like and Dame is looking like Blazers Dame, and it's like, okay, they figured it out. And I could be made a complete liar, and I'm comfortable with that.
Yeah.
But my gut is like, I'm not really truly interested because I just don't feel it's,
Yeah.
I don't feel they have a, I feel like there's too much parity, and they just don't seem like one of those teams at the top that can really do anything. And I can't imagine. I can imagine a world where the Knicks figure it out, get hot, and beat the fucking Celtics. I can't see that with the Bucks. Like I look at it 100 different, chances of it happening, and I just never see the Bucks coming out that way. Yeah, so I don't know, bro. Giannis is going to be good because he's good, you know what I'm saying? But I just don't think the Bucks will be what we thought they would be last year.
Okay, we got 8 minutes. I'm gonna read the remaining teams. Everyone take one team that they're interested in. We'll do a draft of other teams to give a shit about in the East. Cavs, Pacers, Magic, Heat, Hawks, Bulls, Raptors, Hornets, Pistons, Nets, and Wizards. Tyler, is there a team there that you're interested in?
Not really.
I like Halliburton.
I would say Indiana maybe, but they're like last season they were statistically the greatest offense we've ever seen, which the numbers do lie sometimes. They were not an all-time great fucking. I mean, the numbers probably said they're an all-time great team, but we all know they're not a fucking top fucking 30 NBA team we've seen in our lives.
You're not gonna remember that team in 30 years.
Yeah. It's just their defense is just so atrocious. Like you're not going to fucking you're just not going to win in the playoffs with bad defense. That's fucking basketball 101, bro. That's nothing super insightful there. Like that's some shit that y'all that they're very well aware of, and it doesn't look like they've really taken any steps to try to fix that. So I'm out on the Pacers. I mean, but for sure the Pacers are one of those teams where they can fucking get hot and go to the conference finals, right? I don't see them making it out the East, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm really invested in Lonzo, man. I want to see him do well.
Yes.
So, I mean, I don't really care as much about these other teams, but I want to see Lonzo play well. So I would say the Bulls. I would tap in with the Bulls to see Lonzo. I just feel like what's been going on is unfortunate. I feel like he really found himself in the NBA.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He found he learned how to play the game in the way that's best for him, developed a jumper, you know what I'm saying? Solid defender, you know what I mean? Always been great in the open court, and it just feels like it was just so unfortunate about his knee. There was real questions whether he played. People were saying he didn't ever admit to that or say that, but people were, suggesting that there was that was going on. But I'm really invested in Lonzo. I want him to be good. I want him to be able to be healthy. I want him to get a number of years, more years in the league. So bro. I'm really invested in him. I hope he is healthy and can play the full season, and we could get back to what he was doing.
I tell people all the time the most fun I've ever had in basketball was watching that Chino Hills team.
You talk about year,
that. Yeah. With both of his brothers. When the arena doors opened at the Pyramid at Long Beach State for their SoCal championship game to go to the state championship, people trampled each other running in to get good seats. I mean, people they filled the place up. Literally, they opened the door and everyone came sprinting in and filled it up like that. And they play such an exciting brand of basketball. He was such the perfect controller of that not getting to see him, like you said, once he had figured out where he was going to be in the NBA, having that cut short is like, that's my all-time injury regret for sure, just because I have such an affection for what those guys did when they were on the court together. My team will be the Magic, because I like to say Paolo, and I am excited to follow Paolo. And I think if we're talking about guys that we're excited to see if they make a leap, I think that could be a big year for Paolo. So I'm excited for the Magic, but I don't think that they can beat the Celtics or some shit like that. So, Josh, who
Yeah,
you
I'll
got?
fuck with Paolo.
Who's your remaining team? We got Cavs, Heat, Hawks, Bulls, Raptors, Hornets, Pistons, Nets, and Wizards.
I'm gonna go with Miami Heat just because every year it seems like they're overachieving or they're in a round that they shouldn't be in the NBA playoffs. And Eric Spoelstra is the best coach in the league. Jimmy Butler's a sociopath. So if there's one team that's gonna surprise us, it's gonna be the. I hate that. But
Yeah, we'll see.
Have you
Yeah,
hated him for 25 years, like most Knicks fans? Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yep.
Jimmy-
Heat, I hate Heat more than I hate anybody. Heat, Pacers, Bulls, probably not.
Who was the guy flipped? Was it Chris Childs that got flipped in that series? Who was it that got?
Charlie Ward.
Yeah, Ward. Sheesh.
Charlie
Ward. Yeah.
Heisman winner Charlie Ward. But shit, Jimmy Butler's already in fucking midseason form. Y'all see that little dust up he had with Chris Paul?
No.
Yeah, well, Chris Paul fouled Jovic, the Jover.
The Jover.
Gave him a hard foul, and Butler was like, "Hey, that shit ain't gonna fly, though." And Chris Paul said, "I've been in the league 20 years." Jimmy Butler said, "Bro, Jimmy Butler said, I don't give a fuck about any of that." It told him right to his face.
Bro, I love that response in any situation. A nigga say something and I don't give a fuck about none of that. That's a quick nigga. That stops any bullshit you got coming out there. That
recalibrates the whole conversation.
That changes everything. I'm fucking with a different type of nigga. You can say any situation. I don't give a fuck about none of that. I love that response. Jimmy a real nigga, man.
Yeah, you're a real one.
I don't give a fuck about none of that.
I've been in the league 20 years.
20 years of NBA basketball, and he don't give a fuck about nothing you did, bro. Fuck your whole career at this moment.
Chris Paul
give a
just
fuck about none of
naturally
it.
has the voice of the crazy gas station attendant warning the teenagers not to go skinny dipping in that lake. You know what I mean? Just naturally.
That motherfucking strut he be doing that.
They say there's things alive in that lake.
You've been watching a lot of horror movies, haven't you?
that motherfucker struts like a dad who's tired of the kids making too much noise during a sleepover. That's exactly how that motherfucker walks, bro. He walks like he's ready to goddamn enforce some rules.
He can't wait to give somebody a strong talking to. You know what I mean? Like
he's hoping to walk in on a pillow fight so he can grab a pillow and hit a kid harder than he should hit a kid with the pillow for sure.
But he's gonna be perfect with Wemby though. He's just the guy Wemby needs though. So
I agree.
Yeah.
All right, that's all the time we got for our NBA preview. Games start tonight. Hope everyone gets a chance to take them in, and very much looking forward to seeing the league get started up. Thursday is going to be our Love is Blind finale reaction show, so you do not want to miss that. We'll be going at 9 a.m. West Coast time, noon East Coast time. We got our correct time zones locked in, so we're all ready to go for that. And so we'll see y'all then on Thursday. Oh, we're going to talk on Sunday, by the way. We're going to talk some more about this WNBA shit. I'm going full conspiracy theorist on the WNBA final shit.
Bro.
We're going to talk about that shit on Sunday. I can't believe the commissioner showed up wearing a New York dress. That's the craziest shit I ever seen in my life, bro.
that is wild, dog.
All right, we'll see y'all on Thursday. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.